Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. So I know I have 16 videos and I've been doing this for a couple months now, but I didn't really want to just jump in with a newbie tag. I wanted to get my feet wet and do some actual book reviews and book videos and get some like decent subscribers to actually do this video. So I looked up the newbie booktuber, newbie book questions for this video, and I'm gonna answer all of them, but I'm gonna throw in some like other questions just because I'm a nosy bitch and I would want to know those questions about people who are doing these videos. So I don't know if you guys are interested in it, but hopefully I'll try to keep the answers short. I'm very long-winded sometimes, so let's give it a go. Why did you start this channel? I actually didn't know anything about BookTube until like this past March. I was getting coffee with a friend and she told me about it. And I have a very boring job and I don't do anything creative or anything that makes me challenge myself in my normal job. So when she told me about this BookTube thing, I was like, let's do it. So I think BookTube is a nice creative outlet for me. It allows me to learn a new skill, such as filming and editing, and working on speaking. I think I really tried, like when I make my videos, I really try to work on saying and like, or I'm really just working on editing them out. So I think it's just a really cool way to get a creative outlet going. What is my day job? That's the nosy question. I'm a project coordinator for a marketing firm, and we create materials for a car company that I'm just not gonna say. I don't know how much at liberty I am to talk about my job, but I essentially am like a little bitch for all the project managers. I just do random stuff. It's definitely a job where I'm doing it for the experience. What are you most excited about this channel? I think being able to connect with people that are passionate about reading as I am, which I know you guys can, it's hard to believe, but some people don't read as many books as us and don't give a shit about this new character you found and you can relate to, and it's just mind-blowing to me how some people just don't care. It's gonna be nice to connect with people who are actually really passionate about books. Okay, another nosy question. Where am I originally from? Because I'm like always curious, like where these people are filming their videos, like what's their backstory, you know? So I'll give you mine. I'm originally from South Dakota. I love it. I love South Dakota. If you guys have never been to South Dakota, you should go. You should go. It will take you 5 minutes to do everything, but whatever, home's home, you know? There's a ton of cornfields, a lot of blue sky, and my mom and dad are there. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. I went to college in Minnesota, spent about 5 years there, and now my boyfriend and I are in Metro Detroit. So we've been here for about a year and a half, and we like it so far. We'll probably move again a couple times before we settle down, but we're having fun. Why do you love reading? I'm like reading these off of a little Google Doc that I do to try to like have an outline for my videos, and I wrote down something really profound, so I don't know how to read that and then memorize it and then say it to you, so I'm just gonna read it off my laptop. I think reading is a powerful tool. Way to start it off, Amanda. Books offer us an incredible way to learn about anything we want and can teach us so much. I feel like I can get lost in a book into a whole new world. It's a way to travel to new places, meet new people, and discover new things. Back off of that, I would also just like to say that I think reading is such a powerful tool because it helps you learn about situations and people that you could never put yourself in that situation. I just think it's a really powerful way to connect with people, and it's a way to empathize and feel like you can understand what that person's going through because you've read about their life experience. I think it all just boils down to connection. It's a way to connect with everyone in the world. It's a way to connect with just different people, different places, and it's just, I think it's just a great bridge for everybody. Go read. Reading Rainbow. Nosy question. what else do you love to do? You know, I watch these booktubers and I'm like, what else do you do other than read all day? Like, I don't read all day. I wish. Actually, I don't wish. I think sometimes I'm like, I've been reading way too much. What else do I love to do? I'm a very social person. I'm extroverted to my core. I love to hang out with people. I love hanging out with friends, family. I love doing social events. I'm one of those people who goes on Facebook and I go to the event section, and every weekend I'm just like, oh, what are we doing? Which is crazy because I date a very introverted person who would never leave our apartment if it wasn't for me. So very strange. I think we balance each other out though. It's been working out so far. I like to work out. I'm pretty active. I've ran a half marathon and I'm trying to train for another one right now. I love like dancing. I love listening to music. I love listening to podcasts and learning new things. Essentially, that's me. That's what I do with my life. I work, I talk, and I read, and I dance. You can dance if you wanna. You can leave your friends behind. Cause if your friends don't dance, and then they don't dance, and then they ain't friends of mine. I definitely messed up that lyric, but you get the point. Like, just, that's who I am. What book or series got you into reading? I would have to say, and I thought about this a lot, and I wrote down like 5 series, which, whatever. But my mom had these old books from her childhood, and they always were laying around, and I remember just like staring at them before I could even read. Like, I would just stare at the pictures in them. And they were the Laura Ingalls Wilder books and Nancy Drew. So I think these 2 books were definitely what like spirited me into reading. There's actually a Laura Ingalls Wilder huge book that details her life, because her life actually wasn't as glorious as those books make it out to be. What's it called? Doing some research. What? That's not right. Okay, so I found it. So there's actually a book that I would love to explore because I loved those books so much as a kid. And, you know, as you grow up, you find out that, you know, people make shit up to sell books. Called Prairie Fires, The American Dreams of Laura Ingalls Wilder. And it's like a 600-page book, 640 pages. But it just talks about her actual life. And because apparently, like, her dad was kind of like an outlaw. And, oof, her daughter's the one who's like, no, bitch, you gotta set straight. Here we go. Wow. Sorry, guys. I just came lost for a second. That's crazy. I love those books, and I love Laura Ingalls Wilder. So a little nosy question that has to deal with reading is, do I ever have a reading slump? Which I think some people talk about on Booktube. I don't know if it's huge, but yeah, I have reading slumps all the time. Like, I will go hard for like weeks. And I'll be like, oh my God, I'm crushing it. I could read every single book in the world if I keep going like this. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, I don't feel like reading a damn word. And I will not read. I will read 2 books in a month. And it's like, well, there goes my reading goal. But yeah, I go through reading slumps all the time. And I think that they're okay. I don't know. I feel like there's I feel like there's a ton of pressure on Booktube to really read all the time and read as many books as you can, but we all have lives, and probably a lot of us have jobs and social lives, and you just get really overbooked. Yeah, I have reading slumps all the time. So, actual Booktube question. What questions would you ask your favorite Booktubers? How do you find all the time to read so many books? I personally read, I think, a lot of books, like 4 to 5 books a month. Some of these bitches are reading like, I feel like 10 books a month. And I'm like, what? It's crazy to me. Like, how do you find the time to do that? And they're not actual bitches. I should really calm it down. What are your tips to running a Booktube channel? And what do you love other than reading? And are you dating anybody? What's your life story? That's what I want to know. Okay, nosy question. I'm just now making them up because I just stopped doing it at work the other day. Are you dating somebody? I am dating somebody. My boyfriend, I think he's been in a couple videos, some of my vlogs. His name is Chandler. We've been dating for 5 years. He's tall, he's a redhead, and he plays a lot of video games. He has his own YouTube channel. I can link it below. And if you like video games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, I think he's playing a very nerdy chess game right now. He plays this game where you're a car and you play soccer. It's really interesting for some people. So I'll put that link below if you guys are interested. If you guys want to check them out, whatever. If you don't, because I don't find them interesting. I love you so much, Chandler, if you're watching this. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I like him. He's funny. He makes me laugh, and he's a great guy. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So I was thinking about this actually yesterday, because I wrote down, I was like, being consistent. But I really do think that the hardest challenge will be to get my personality in these videos. When I am hosting a book club or I'm at my book club, I feel like I'm a person full of personality, and I will really get engaged in the conversation. And when I started this booktube channel, I was like, yeah, this is why I'm going to do it, because, you know, all these people are like, oh my gosh, you're so funny. I find that my personality falls flat when I'm making a video. So I think my hardest challenge will be to make sure that I am, you know, being my true self when I'm filming, and not being monotone, not being not as exciting, and realizing that I don't have to like say every little thing about the book. So sometimes I think that my videos are really long, and I'm like, you know, you could have just had fun with it and just said whatever you wanted. You didn't have to tell us about the whole book, Amanda. Making sure that I'm putting out videos that people would actually want to watch, that I would want to watch. I think that'll be a challenge. When did you start reading? I started at a really young age. I honestly was thinking about this the other day. Again, I was like, just when I drive, I think about random stuff. My mom instilled a pretty early, like, a love of reading for my brother and I. I mean, my brother didn't really latch on right away, but I've always loved reading as long as I can remember, like Goodnight Moon, whatever, other children's books we were reading, Where the Wild Things Are. I loved looking at books and just staring at the pictures, and then when I could read, I loved reading. I just remember, you know, just my mom and I going to Barnes & Noble constantly. Like, my mom's always been a book nerd too. Like, she always has her nose in a book, and it's just kind of like something that I just grew up loving. So I don't remember a certain age falling in love with reading. Where do you read? I usually read in my living room on the couch. That's like my go-to spot. Otherwise, when it's warm out, I've been trying to read by the pool. I love reading in my hammock outside. I will read at my lunch, at my work sometimes, when my coworkers don't ask me to have lunch with them. Just kidding. Sometimes I get really busy and like the table's full and I can't fit, so I'll go read instead, or I just want to be by myself, you know? Mainly that's where I read. I don't know. I don't have like a reading nook or anything. It's a pretty small, shabby apartment, so nothing too snazzy. What kind of books do you like to read? This is the last question. Hands down, historical fiction. I love historical fiction. That's where it's at. I would love to read historical fiction all day long. I love history. I've always loved history. Not only did my mom instill a love for reading, she instilled a love of history. I remember growing up, we would watch PBS historical documentaries, and Antiques Roadshow was my jam. So I just really love history. I think it's great, and it ties my love of history and my love for reading into one, and it's just great. Oh, good. So that's kind of all the questions. I don't really know what else to ask myself. That's about it. If you're nosy like me, like, don't be ashamed. Ask me some questions away. Like, whatever you are thinking, it doesn't have to be book related. It can be book related. I would love to hear your questions and get to know you, have you get to know me. I'm hoping I'm here to stay, so let's do this thing. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble on about myself. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, this was a brief pause in me talking about books. Next week I'll be back with something. I don't know yet. Haven't planned that far ahead. I hope you enjoyed this video with me in my PJs, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for stopping by.